Hello there, everyone. I'm Steve Nance. I'm the General Manager at Oryana. Somebody reminded me recently this is my 12th State of the Co-op address. And I was on the board before that, and my wife preceded me. I think they're keeping me around because I know where all the circuit breakers are in the place. I would like to start by saying thank you. I want to say thank you to our wonderful board of directors. These folks are elected by you as owners, and that is a big part of being an owner. They represent you and your local food at your local food co-op, obviously. They work really hard. They are working hard at developing, they are working hard at learning. They've scaled up to meet the demands of a much larger organization. I also want to thank our leadership team. These are the folks that may be behind the scenes at both stores and in our administrative side of the house. Again, Oryana's scaled up, it's gotten quite a bit bigger, so there's a lot that needs to be handled, whether it's taking care of purchasing, HD, which is our HR, our finance department, a lot of stuff's going on, our department managers. And I want to say thank you to our staff. It has been a very, very difficult last 2 years. I can't say enough about how brave they've been. It's the hardest 2 years that I've ever experienced after 50 years in business. We also were recognized as a scale-up business. We were one of the finalists to be decided in May. And basically it's a chamber or Traverse Connect event to recognize businesses that have both grown and have grown their capacity to improve our wonderful region. So more to come on that. This is important. Lori Korb, our wonderful Lori Korb, she's been with the co-op almost 35 years, has chosen to retire. She will be leaving us in May. Lori started at Randolph, works at 10th. So if you do see Lori, please wish her well, tell her how much we love her. We have an annual report though that we do every year. This includes all the required information and documentation that you as owners get every year. We'll have physical paper copies at both stores, and you can get a copy on our website. I'm going to go over some highlights, one of which is our scale up, meaning how much we have grown, especially in the last 2 years. Oryana, when we first came to 10th Street, we were about $1 million in sales. It was not too successful to begin with. Luckily, we had a great board of directors. We hired a great GM, Bob Struthers, who's now up the road at Grain Train, and we got to be better grocers. Full, abundant, doing better customer service. We grew double digits, and we expanded the store. We became the largest co-op grocer in Michigan. And then the recession hit, we slowed down, but then started growing in 2010, and we did well until competition came. We had Lucky's open 2017, Costco, Aldi's expanded. Everybody got into natural and organics. But then 2019, we started to hear rumblings that Lucky's wasn't doing so well. We dug in and started to go after Lucky's in a very non-co-op move. The co-ops don't do mergers and acquisitions, but Oryana did. And we fought hard to be able to go to qualify for the bankruptcy auction, go to the bankruptcy auction right at the start of the pandemic. So it was a 13-hour auction on Zoom with 75 attorneys, but at the end of the day, Oryana succeeded in acquiring the local corporate competition. Has it worked out? It's worked out. Since 2019, in 2 years, we have scaled up from 16 million in sales to 32 million in sales. That's double, and that's 101%. So that is a pretty dramatic increase. We are now one of the larger co-ops in the country. So that's all great news. This is a little more detailed because as owners, you should know how we're doing financially. These orange bars, these represent our income. 2019, 2020, we were about 170,000 in operational income, but we've jumped in 2021 to just under 700,000. That's great. We are a little below goal. Even though that's a big number, it's still under 3% of total revenue. So grocery, it turns out, is not a very big margin business. So we have to watch everything we do. But the other thing I want to show is our balance sheet. The blue bars represent what we own. So we have gone from, in 2019, $8 million in assets to over $10 million in assets. The good news is we also have very, very little debt. We didn't take debt on for the Lucky's acquisition. We have substantially more assets than debt, which is, again, a healthy balance sheet. This is fun. We also increased owners. So between 2019 and 2021, we went from 7,000 owners to 10,000. That's 10,000 folks you get to own your favorite grocery store with. And we increased local sales pretty dramatically. In 2019, we were about 3 million in local sales. We were 5 million and headed towards 6 million or more this year. That's supporting local food resiliency, our local farmers and artisans. So all of that is great. Financial health is great. The financial performance is great, but we are a co-op. We don't exist to return on investment for some investors somewhere else. We exist for the wants and needs of our owners and the community. It's right in our mission statement. We also, if we're good grocers and successful, we get to work at what we call our ends policies. But that's basically giving back to staff, giving back to the community, and giving back to our owners. And I want to go over some of the details. So giving back to staff this year, the last 2 years, we've done a number of bonuses in this very difficult environment. We've also had 2 pay increases. We have a fantastic benefit package. We take staff development very seriously and put owners' resources to developing staff. And on Saturdays, they get donuts from somebody. The other part of giving back to the community is we support a number of organizations doing great work in our community. Organizations like Tart Trails, Groundworks, the folks at Food Rescue. We also support our 70 food pantries with our Good Food Fund. And just lately we awarded our microloan program to some local food entrepreneurs and farmers. This helps keep the food resiliency system going. We also have what we call the Oryana Green Grocer Initiative. This is lowering our carbon footprint, being sustainable, being good ecological stewards. The Green Grocer Initiative includes things like we have recycling at both co-ops. We have just established a composting program similar to 10th Street. We're probably one of the, if not the biggest, composter in our region. We have engineered for solar on the roof of our west store like we have at 10th. We have, and these are just a few of the sustainability efforts that we have going. And we give back to maintaining our co-op. At West, we enclosed the front entryway, which folks may have noticed. It was designed and built by a builder from Florida, which explains why it was open to the cold north wind and snow. We've enclosed that, suitable for northern Michigan. We have recently reset produce, a lot of new fixtures, Michigan wood, and built in Grand Rapids. We have re-signed and added our local food and purveyors posters to West. If you take a look, these are all printed on recyclable cardboard. So when they reach the end of their life, they can all be easily recycled. So that and a lot more going on to improve your co-op. And coming up, we are replacing stairways at 10th Street. Corrosion is taking its toll. And we are going to, it worked so well at West, we're going to enclose the south entrance at 10th Street as well. So that'll give us some protection from the south wind, and hopefully our cashiers will not need the augmented heaters that they've been using for years. Exciting. West is getting an actual Oryana co-op community room. It is something that co-ops are famous for. We are in the community, so this will be available for community group use. We'll do some training, some meetings there, and we will be able to do our Oryana cooking classes there. We should have this open in the next month or two. We may be waiting a little longer because of the difficulty in getting fixtures and a refrigerator and stove. With supply chain issues, we'll follow behind, but that's coming soon at West. And as I said, we also give back to our owners. Oryana gave almost $1 million in discounts to our owners in the community this year. We also have many ways you can save. We all know we're in this hyperinflation, hopefully not going into recession, but Oryana has a couple programs to deal with that. We have co-op deals, co-op basics, high quality for a really great price. We have the 5% punch points. You can pre-order and get discounts. Also, owner appreciation months. So 4 times a year, you can choose a shop of your choice and get 10% off. And that's coming up in May. And this is going to be a big one. Spring's coming, owner appreciation month. We are going to have some giveaways, some vendors, a cookout at West is planned. So all of that coming up in May. Lastly, the board has authorized, based on my recommendation, a patronage rebate. If, as an owner, at the end of a good year, we can do what's kind of a deferred discount. So we give back what we don't need for the sustainability of the co-op to our owners. You'll probably come up to the register and the owner and the cashier will go, you have $10.95 for your patronage discount. Would you like to use that in this shop? So lots of ways Oryana gives back to our owners as well. This is exciting. 2023, Oryana will turn 50 years old. That is a big milestone, and we will celebrate in true Oryana style. We're already brainstorming, we've been thinking about this, and we ask you, look for those old pictures, put down those old memories, write those stories, get them over to us. We'll be looking for those so that we can all celebrate 50 years of Oryana and prepare for another exciting 50 years. Thank you.